Welcome to a broadcast of the recent Lorain County Commissioners' General Meeting. Unless otherwise announced, meetings are held Wednesday morning at the Administration Building, 226 Middle Avenue, 4th floor, downtown Elyria. These are public meetings and you are invited to attend. Agendas are posted prior to the meeting at www.loraincounty.us. Click on Departments to see the Commissioners page, then click on View Agenda.
Good morning. Can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning and welcome to the May 27th meeting of the Lorain County Board of Commissioners. Mrs. Beitelman with our prayer this.
Thank you. Dear God, we seek your help with the affairs of our county today. Bless this meeting with your divine intelligence and help our commissioners and staff to make the best use of your wisdom that you give them. Please share that with them today, God. We know that they have big decisions to make and it's not always easy, and sometimes it's difficult to bring people into agreement, but we know with your help all things are possible. So we ask these blessings in your Son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. She remembers me. I was playing with her before the meeting. She is a little spitfire. She's got lots of energy. Very, very sweet baby. She's only, 14 weeks old. She's available tomorrow. Look at her. She wants to go with you, Bob. You want to come pick her up, take her home tomorrow? Okay. If you want older dogs, we have 34 dogs in the kennel right now, so we need your help again. So please, if you're thinking about getting a pet for your family, come to our kennel first before you go anywhere else. And see, she's a puppy, Mr. Commissioner Lundy, and she's not pooping on the floor like your dog did last week. So look at, isn't she so sweet? Oh my gosh. She's blue, but she's got a little bit of brindle in her too. I think she wants you, Lisa. She's a girl dog. All right, thank you. For those of you who have been around for a while and may not know, Jack Zlempa passed away this past Saturday, so he was our dog warden prior, and our condolences to his family. Madam Clerk?
Under Resolutions Number 1, invest.
Moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Mr. Kalo?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Mr. Kalo?
Aye.
Transfers.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Mr. Kalo?
Aye.
No advances, no repayments, requisitions.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Mr. Kalo?
Aye.
Travel.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Mr. Kalo?
Aye.
Bills.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Mr. Kalo?
Aye.
Under the Commissioners, authorize various personnel actions as indicated on the summary sheet for employees within jurisdiction of Lorain County Commissioners.
Mr. Cortez?
Thank you, Madam President. A few brief issues I'd like to go over with the board, specifically potential hires in Job and Family Services, Collection Center. Collection Center. I want to update you on contract negotiations with our E911 employees. Also contract negotiations that are taking place with the clerk of courts employees that I met with yesterday, and I want to bring you up to speed on where we're at with those discussions. Also the potential sale and purchase of real estate and pending litigation. All of those subjects are allowed under the Sunshine Act for executive session discussion, so I'd ask at the conclusion of our regular board meeting, we go into executive session, we talk about those issues that I've explained. Thank you.
Thank you.
Approve and waive the reading of the minutes of May 20th.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Letter to FERC and the importance of safety with Nexus pipeline as other lines that could be laid.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
It's not exactly what the people were asking for as a, but it is pretty close. So hopefully they'll be here.
Why would they- Working on that?
Yeah, you did a nice
The,
job.
You know, she got to it before I did, and it was a pretty nice job. So, for Teresa on behalf of getting that done.
Want to make, please.
Yeah, I would just stress that, you know, whether it's a resolution or a letter, I think a letter is very effective. It still conveys our concerns. You know, our primary concern about this pipeline project has been and always will be the safety of the residents. Obviously, Commissioner Kokoski has stressed it's important for us to try to route this in a way so that we don't impact many households, and we're certainly supportive of fewer households being impacted. But as I've said before, and we always have to pay attention to it, that if we move the pipeline away from your property, it ends up on somebody else's property. So we have to be sensitive to the fact that the pipeline is coming through. It's just a matter of whose household's going to be impacted by it. But when it does come through, it's our responsibility to make sure we ensure the safety of the residents and take every safeguard possible and stress that to FERC, that the pipe that comes through here is safe for our residents.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Under Developmental Disabilities, approve and enter in a lease agreement for $1 annually with Murray Ridge Housing Corporation, Elaria, for 38588 Liberty Lane, Carlisle Township, effective July 1st, 2015 through June 30th, 2025. This property will operate a community residential home for developmental disabled adults.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Actually, Jim, what is happening now at the state level? I've gotten a couple phone calls and posts to my Facebook in regards to how they're trying to disabilities, pushing towards private sector.
Interesting.
Concerns. I've had employees contact me about this.
Everything, you know, it's funny how serendipitous things are. I met with Amber Fisher yesterday.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, thank you.
We started seeing these changes beginning last year. We've had the discussions towards, you know, more, I call it the KSIC model, and, you know, moving stuff into the private sector. We have some of these homes now. There's going to be 3 more of them coming forward that we need to deal with. More like they're moving in a direction of the mental health services, where they became, I want to term it more a broker of services, a go-between with the funding sources and the contracting, but ultimately the nonprofits and sometimes for-profits in the community that are capable of delivering these services should be utilized first, rather than developing an in-house model trying to duplicate that service. Mental health has been on that trail for a long, long time, decades. This is new for the DD. I suspect some of it's coming down because the DDs have grown so large over the last 40 years. Most counties didn't have anything to do with DDs, and it was an MRDD until in the 70s when a lot of that legislation came about. What I find interesting is there's a lot of levy support for the DDs, more so even than mental health. So it's going to be a mixed bag of how the state transitions to this model, because there's a lot of local dollars there, and there should be a lot of local decision-making by the community that pays the bill. But that said, you're going to see some of this going on, and I don't know how dramatic it's going to be yet, nor does Amber. It's a work in progress, but this is the first evolutionary process towards removing some of these services from the community and putting them someplace else. Service will still be available. We got a big workshop out there. We're not, by far, we're not the largest county, but I hope that they can continue to do the workshops. I think that they do a wonderful job there. Cost compression is always going to be an issue, so that has to be looked at. Sometimes you need to change a few things to control costs and realign those costs with the outcomes that you're seeking. And we do a lot of that. We look at how much admin cost goes in, how much direct services goes out, and over time sometimes you have a disproportionate amount that's being used up on delivering the services rather than on the consumers. So I think that's what they're looking at. But Ted, I can't tell you how many employees are going to be affected by this. I know that there's going to be some.
Right, I mean, I'm hearing, Jerry,
Yeah,
looks like
well,
you're gonna say
Commissioner,
something.
it's a real good public-private, you know, it takes the association there is going to take over maintenance and everything of the building, so back of DD to do that, and like Jim said, it should result in some private jobs, and you know, it's a really good public-private combination here.
Okay, all right, just seeing the changes, wondering how the dialogue, so.
Now, I know a few of these properties are not going to be leased, they're going to be sold. While the title to these properties remains in the Lorain County Board of Commissioners, because you are in effect Lorain County, I'm going to make a strong recommendation and let you think about it now that those funds go back to the DD. They're the ones that originated the funds. We simply are conduit on title. And you know, we've done that before. As I told Amber, selling property is never easy in the public sector with the regulations, how difficult they are. But I thought that after we got all of our expenses back, because it is also an expensive process, that I would recommend that we sent the proceeds over to the DD, because that's, again, where the funds originated from.
Sure. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Mr. Cordez?
You know, I really wish I had something this morning. The agenda's so short, but I don't. So I'll yield to council. Thank you.
I have one matter of pending litigation. I don't know if it's to talk about, but I'd like to discuss that in executive session.
Last Wednesday, we had our Stormwater District meeting. We had a nice turnout and a lot of support from the townships. Glad of that. Thursday, I headed off to Tennessee, went to Nashville, had a great time. Their sales tax is 9.25%. They don't have a income tax.
No income tax.
Right,
Yeah, they
so-
brag about no income tax, but.
Exactly,
Right.
but we did everything that we wanted to do and more, so you can check my Facebook page, you can see my daughter cut off 14 inches of her hair, donating it for Wigs for Kids for the third time, and it's still long, so we really had a great time. Also, just a quick reminder that we are still accepting donations for Goodwill here until June the 9th, so you can bring it here to our building. End of my report.
It was a busy week being short with the holiday. Again, we had the Stormwater District meeting, nice turnout by our township trustees. On Friday, I had the opportunity at the new pavilion at Black River Landing that through our community grants through solid waste using recycled materials. Nice turnout for the new Rockin' on the River for the first night, figuring, you know, it was really cold out and the Cavs were playing. But,
Yeah, go Cavs. Woo.
and then I got a nice phone call Sunday night actually, the Memorial Day Parade. I was going to be in the Lorain Memorial Day Parade, and one of the gentlemen who MCs it wasn't able to make it, so I got to co-MC the parade.
Oh.
So
Wow.
I always like having a microphone.
Well,
Yeah.
put that
So
one on the
myself
resume.
and Steve Bansig Jr. got to do that.
Steve.
Yeah, so, but the Black River Landing was really nice. Senator Manning was there for the ribbon cutting because they brought $80,000 from the state of Ohio for a capital project, and then the city of Lorain, Mayor Rittenauer, Rick Novak, the director, and the board members. The land bank is meeting today at 11:30. Hope to get an update, get our bylaws straightened out, and an update on where we are, Jim, on the demos.
I think we'll have it with regard to, we're starting to get a lot of the houses queued for demolition. We're going to have a few PR sessions to remind people that we're still out there and still working there. Right now, I'm wrestling with grass. We have a lot of homes. We just added some additional equipment. We're trying to get a few additional people out there taking care of these lots. Funny is when they were abandoned, they would go unkempt for weeks and weeks and sometimes months. Now that people know their land bank properties and the grass gets a quarter inch over the maximum, and we're getting all these calls about not doing our job correctly.
Don't you get those phone calls normally?
Well, I get them about you guys, not about me. We've had to get the maintenance schedules up, get the equipment going. When the Ophir houses are done, we're going to be taking care of in excess of probably 300 properties. It doesn't sound like a lot until you start having to whack weeds and mow the lawn and pick up the trash. Inevitably, these end up being magnets for people to throw and dump stuff on. So, and the other complication is now that we own the Ophir houses, we're trying to secure them, get out there, board up windows, and so that until we get there and do the demolition, we don't create even further additional hazards within the community. So I'm really comfortable where we're at, but we'll have more at the land bank, but I know we don't televise that, so it's nice to talk about it here.
That's why we have it here.
And of course, we still have to talk about how we're going to spend that nice extra money we received for doing what they classified as an exceptional job.
Uh-huh. Pat yourself on the back, Mr. Cordet.
Well, pat everybody on the back, prosecutors, everybody, the commissioners, the land bank. This has truly been a Herculean effort of everybody's hands on the oars to make sure that Mr. Dukakis didn't prove himself right at the expense of Lorain
Dukakis
County.
ran for president about 5 years ago. It's Rokak.
Rokakis. You know, they all of them seem to be problematic.
Congratulations, Cleveland Cavaliers. We're
Yeah.
going to the finals.
Yeah.
Welcome back, LeBron. Into my report.
Want to say thank you to the township trustees for their participation and involvement as we walked through the process of the stormwater management fees, and it was a great collaborative effort with everybody involved. Want to thank the county administrator, Don Romanchuk, with community development, and everybody else who helped to provide the support so we could walk through that process. And I think now we've been able to put together a plan that provides the investment that is needed to start addressing the needs that are out there. And certainly for the residents, they have an idea as to what those costs will be then for the next 5 years, what that investment will require. So I just want to commend everybody for this collaborative process and a very important decision that's going to help our county moving forward as we address flooding and stormwater issues. Had a chance to attend the Head Start celebration of the 50th anniversary of Head Start here in Elyria. It was great meeting with the parents and the cute kids with all the face painting that was going on. I think everybody had butterflies and bees and all kinds of things painted on their faces, but it was a great event. Head Start's so important. You know, the research shows over and over again, the earlier we can get to the children, the better their chances are for having a productive life. And just want to thank all the teachers and everybody who works so much with the kids, but also the parents, because without the parents being involved in their child's future, it's hard to achieve success. I had a chance to attend the Township Association meeting in Rochester on Thursday night. Also, over the weekend, a lot of folks may not know, but at All Pro Freight Stadium each year, Avon actually hosts the MAC tournament that takes place for baseball each year, and had a chance to catch some of those games. Always looking for an excuse to catch a baseball game, but saw some really great games. And Ohio University, I guess for the first time since the late 70s now, will be going on to the NCAA baseball tournament. The Memorial Day services in Avon Lake, generally I've had the chance to participate in the Elyria Day Memorial Day Parade. This is the first time I've had a chance to go back to my hometown of Avon Lake and be in the parade there. Amazing turnout, just amazing turnout. Want to thank the American Legion Post 211 for their involvement in making that a special event, and also Councilwoman Jennifer Fenderbosch with Avon Lake City Council, who played a major role in helping to coordinate everything. It was a great event, good weather on the lakefront, and just a great day to remember all those who've paid the ultimate sacrifice.
Today's land bank, and then next Tuesday, June 2nd, Commissioners will have an annexation hearing from New Russia Township to Overland. 9:45, we'll have our staying ditch hearing in Elyria, which is in Elyria Township, and then at 10:30, we'll have a TID meeting.
Okay.
Comments?
I move the reading be waived.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Mr. Kalo?
Aye.
Public comment?
Anybody wishing to bring up anything to us today? I don't see any. Motion to go into executive session as outlined by the county administrator and the assistant county prosecutor.
Second.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Mr. Kalo?
Aye.
This has been a broadcast of the recent Lorain County Commissioners' General Meeting. Unless otherwise announced, meetings are held Wednesday morning at 9:30 at the Administration Building, 226 Middle Avenue, 4th floor, downtown Elyria. These are public meetings, and you are invited to attend. Agendas are posted prior to the meeting at www.loraincounty.us. Click on Departments to see the Commissioners page, then click on View Agenda for a printable copy of the agenda.